I don't know whether this is working as a video or not, but I just want to say that myself and a colleague of mine, well, a friend of mine, were talking the other day about whether there would be great and significant consequences if Hollywood were to recruit and allow a black person to play James Bond. Now, sort of a lot of marketing, they made out it was tongue-in-cheek, but in a way, a lot of men in this country grew up with James Bond, watching James Bond films, and were impressed by all the gadgets, and felt a sense of security somewhat, and a sense of being cocooned by the emphasis on gadgets and goods and expensive dresses and expensive suits, and they might have seemed expensive to a lot of English children who might have grown up in relative poverty and hoped that one day when they become an adult, they would be able to drive a car, not just any car. Most of them would have hoped, or might still hope, but something that looks swish. But I mean, it's known that Hollywood hasn't been employing many black actors at all, although I think that there is a large black population in America, and in some respects, I wonder whether they would hire a black person to try and make a black actor, yes, I would assume it would be a man, probably, to make the emphasis on goods seem more tongue-in-cheek still? Or would it just completely... what if they employed a Latino to be James Bond? I'm worried at the moment because a friend of mine on Facebook from America has been implying that tyres have been melting or bursting in America. I find that difficult to believe. Cars nowadays have very well made tyres, and the windscreen wipers on cars and so on are in many respects much better than they used to be. But at the same time, I have found out that rubber trees are usually grown to a certain extent on ground or in ground that's full of moisture, that rubber trees, it's not just tires and things, it's latex clothing and elastane, all the uses for I don't know whether anybody has skirts with rubber waistbands. I mean, that used to be something, it used to be a little bit sort of difficult in some respects, but then it didn't matter if you got fatter and thinner so much, because you could still wear the one skirt. But rubber, it would be necessarily not to mine all the land beneath them, probably, because there would have to be some moisture left in the land. And again, it would be important for it not to get so hot via climate change or whatever that all that moisture disappears. Maybe the tire problem, though, I'm not saying that she may be causing difficulties when there are none, but maybe the tire problem is caused by melting tarmac as well. So yes, traditionally, Africa has, or parts of Africa have known what it's like to try and survive without much water and food and things. So yes, I don't know how they'd play it if a black man or a Latino man was in fact the next James Bond.